Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we really believe in riding the bus together to save money. No, I'm kidding. Our show today is the United Kingdom News and Culture, and I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Our question today is, will they or won't they? Ooh, we're going to find out what's going on in the United Kingdom. Let's welcome our panel, starting with DIANN, FLOYD, BOEHM. Hello, welcome.
Hi, Dr. Jacalyn. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you with us. Let's welcome Helena Chard. Hello.
Hi, happy Wednesday. Great to see you.
Happy Wednesday. Nice to see you too. Pretty in pink. And Mr. Simon MacDonald, another award. Simon, welcome.
My desk's getting full up now. I haven't got anywhere to put the laptop. But good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever in the world you are. And we're scattered all over the world today. I feel heavily outnumbered today, but there we are.
You're in good company. You're in good company. And by the way, our friend Mr. Ian Palm Turner is not with us today. He's on holiday, but I'm super excited. I'll finally get to meet him this weekend at a business event. So safe travels to you, Ian. So I want to start off with Helena. Let's just get it out of the way. Will they or won't they? What's the buzz about that?
Oh, will they or won't they? Oh gosh, but there's been so much speak about it. I can't mention their names actually. It's got that bad. So obviously invitations have gone out. We've had the whole Gabon mate physician and the talk that I spoke about last week with Harry, and he's talking about drugs and various things. I mean, I just, there's part of me that feels quite sad because I can see that he still is in trauma. He can't see it, but he definitely is. And we're just waiting to see. We're waiting to hear. I mean, at the moment, it's like they're sort of in hiding in a way. And we're seeing more of Sarah Ferguson than we are, and hearing more from her, which is lovely. I mean, she's really great fun, Sarah Ferguson, and she, I know in the States, has been promoting her new book, The Most Intriguing Lady, and obviously she's been trying to keep away from, muddying the waters in a sense, and whilst she's been promoting her book, I mean, I have to say congratulations, Sarah Ferguson. I think she's brought out something like nearing 100 books, which I was quite shocked about. But she's been, the media have been sort of press scanning her and asking her what does she think about things. And she's been so sensible. She's not made any judgment. She's spoken about her and her two daughters and how they're just so close. And really, there should be more forgiveness and success stories. So cheering each other on. So will they, won't they? I don't know. I feel like saying, just don't come, quite frankly. There's been too much talk around them. But obviously we do want the best. We do want the best for them as well. What does everybody think? What are your thoughts?
DIANN. Ooh, what do you think, DIANN?
Oh, I'm going to open that and say nothing.
Commentator, pass it to Simon.
Well, I've heard that if they do decide to turn up, then they've been offered Princess Diana's old apartment in Kensington Palace, that lovely big house just off Kensington High Street. And for somewhere to stay while they're here. I don't know whether they're getting charged bed and breakfast or what, but at least they've got somewhere to put their heads down at night and keep their heads down if they are here as well, because I think they will become just absolute targets for the media, and I hope it doesn't overshadow the actual event of the coronation itself, because they seem to have a habit of stealing the limelight from what the important thing is all about. So it's the coronation. If they come, yes, there will be a lot of focus on them. If they don't come, I think the focus will be toned down quite a bit. They'll say, oh, they're not here. That will be the end of it. So I think if they want to be tactful and decent about it, then I think they should write a very polite letter saying thank you, but can't make it, and make some excuse. That's my thought.
And I have a question about that. Thanks for sharing that, everyone except for Diane. No, I'm kidding. My question is, if they don't come, is that going to be taken as another slight and another, well, this relationship is completely severed?
Yeah, it's a very difficult sort of balancing act at the moment with this. But I don't know. I feel that if they don't come, I think it should very well be taken in better taste than if they turned up. I mean, if they turn up, they've got to accept there's a very good chance that they will get booed and so on as they go in, and that will not look good, and it'll be embarrassing, not just for them, but it'll be embarrassing for everybody. And I'm thinking in particular with Harry's father.
Yeah, I would agree. Ooh.
Okay.
Helena.
Maybe,
Oh, I missed you. I was just getting ready for the question, and then off you went. What did I miss out on?
Maybe a diplomatic way to handle it is for Harry to come and be there with his dad and let the rest stay at home, even though it's Archie's birthday. Archie isn't like 13 and saying, I want my dad here on my birthday, but such a special event. I think Harry, if he just came, it might be okay. What do y'all think?
I think
probably better, but he's got a good excuse then by saying, "Well, it's Archie's birthday." Fine. His father's now going to have 2 birthdays a year because this is his birthday, and then the official birthday being the coronation date.
Mm-hmm.
So that's maybe why Harry's a bit miffed. He's missing out on 2 sets of birthday presents.
My personal feeling is shame if he doesn't come. Shame on him, really, because this is the most ceremonial constitutional event our country has, and this is like the first coronation in 70 years, and it's his father who is King Charles. So if he doesn't come, it's a terrible thing, because I think you need to put certain grievances aside. However small, however big, to attend. And my feeling is as well, we heard these stories that if he doesn't come over, that, I don't know, he's going to be commentating with, is it, I don't know, NBC or someone covering the whole coronation, which would be, I don't know, that would be bizarre. It'd be absolutely bizarre. I know he's had his cottage that, Charles has said that he has to hand it back, basically, which makes sense because he's not here now. But he's really good friends with Eugenie, Sarah Ferguson's daughter, and apparently Eugenie and her husband are staying there at the moment. So it makes a perfect situation, although they've been offered Buckingham Palace apartments. I mean, they can come over and stay still in the cottage, Frogmore, and also Eugenie and her husband will stay with them in America. So these properties are huge, and they've been making such a big thing about having them taken away. But, the whole royal family could probably just stay in one of them. So, and there's lots of them. It's this complete madness. But
is there room for us to stay there as well if we?
There would be. We should all stay there. We'd all stay in an apartment together, wouldn't we?
We don't need to schedule a retreat. We'll just go over there. That sounds like a great time.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's with Frogmore Cottage. Cottage is a bit of a misnomer with that property. It is pretty big, and I mean, if you're going to do up a cottage, and using cottage and everything it conjures up being the sort of little place with the thatched roof and on the chocolate box, you can't spend £2.5 million on doing that up. But somewhere like Frogmore Cottage, which really should be Frogmore House, you can spend £2.5 million on that one and never see anything for it. It is quite a big place.
Mm.
Wow. Well, we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to.
So, yeah. Helena, what else is going on? I know there's always some good news as well, right?
Yeah, there is. Do you know, everybody, happy International Women's Day,
Yes.
which is today. Let's celebrate.
Simon!
Women.
I still feel outnumbered.
Absolutely. But I mean, it's all about, change and celebrating women, social, economic, cultural, political, all the achievements, but obviously, and also the men that help us as well. So it's quite an exciting day. It's obviously once a year, and do you know what? I don't think there's one country that's achieved gender equality, which is quite something. And when you start looking at figures and things, like women earn 23% less than men. This is globally, and only 24% of parliamentary seats are taken by women globally. So, celebrating International Women's Day is so important. And hey, there's so much to celebrate. There's so many wonderful things that women have achieved. And I'm sure we all know women in our lives that we remember, even from when we're younger, that did so much, gave us so much. I just think it's really, really exciting. And in fact, Madame Tussauds over here in the UK have just today unveiled a statue of Emmeline Pankhurst, and she's the key figure in the suffragette movement. I think it's roughly 120 years ago now. Anyway, so she helped women with equal voting rights, and so Madame Tussauds are now sort of bringing history back to life, which I love. So they've got her positioned in the costume, which is purple, white and green, and I think they're the colours of International Women's Day. And I think purple stands for justice and dignity, green stands for hope, and white's purity. I'm not too sure about the purity bit, but anyway, so she's positioned on a box as if she's talking to the public, because I think that's what she did a lot. She used to just get her box out and stand and talk, and yeah, so I look forward to seeing that. It's quite exciting. I wish I'd sent some pictures through, but it all got too late. But it's a lovely thought. And she's wearing the certain badge. I think is it for? Oh, I can't remember. But anyway, it's quite a lovely costume that she wears. So that's happened today.
I just wondered if Simon, being here with the three of us, is just dying to give a little tribute speech. Simon? Pressure.
Yes, well, I mean, it's an International Women's Day. I can't think of an International Man's Day talking of equal rights. But no, it's good. Actually, in Scottish Parliament, in Scottish government, there are more women ministers than there are men. And it's the women that hold all the top jobs there. And of course, Nicola Sturgeon made sure of that. And in the current election runs for our new First Minister, because Nicola Sturgeon, our First Minister, is standing down, we've got two women there as well. There's Kate Forbes, who has been the Finance Minister for a number of years. And I know her, I've met her a few times. And she's from the outer islands, and she's quite a pocket dynamo. I mean, she's quite a feisty woman. And the other one there is Ash Reagan, nothing to do with Ronald Reagan, but a nice transatlantic link. Ash Reagan, she's actually quite radical on the independent side as well. So, you know, I think I'm not sure how she's going to do. She is regarded as being, you know, the also-ran at the moment. But I was watching a program last night, and there's the three of them. The other one being Hamza Yousaf, who is the health minister just now, who's been criticised very heavily, but he came across extremely well last night. I was quite impressed with the argument he put up. But I think a lot of the you know, the big guns in Scottish Parliament are starting to back Kate Forbes now. So jury's out. I mean, it could go either way, and I would say either way between Hamza Yousaf or Kate Forbes. Needless to say, with a name like Hamza Yousaf, he's not originally Scottish, shall we say. I'm just trying to be a bit tactful here. When you think we've got Rishi Sunak down in London as well, so that balances up those cards. So there we go. But yeah, yeah, I mean, I've always regarded equality, you know, with men and women right since the day one, because I was told to say so.
Your mama.
I would no question to ever have argued with my mother.
It's funny.
Look what I have.
Oh, DIANN.
Yeah, no, sorry, Ian's lost a bit of weight.
Ball. At President Woodrow Wilson's home, you can purchase the suffrage dolls. So here's their outfits they wore in America. Just an FYI.
Amazing.
Are you putting that one up for sale, DIANN?
No. I'm just saying this is where you can get it. Because Woodrow Wilson was for women's rights. So probably more so, but we'll see.
Let's put him on the bus with us.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Oh.
Did any of you ever love puppets, you know, to hand puppets to play? Like,
Yes.
I'm sure, DIANN, with your students, you did that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I remember the early television shows. Oh my goodness, I'm going back now to the days when Edison was a lad. But early children's hour we had on television here, and there were so many puppet shows on then as well. I mean, there's sort of like Andy Pandy, Helena. It was even before your time, well before your time. But you know, Andy Pandy, who was a sort of strung puppet, and there was Sooty and Sweep, who were glove puppets, a little bear and a little dog. And Muffin the Mule. I always wondered if Muffin the Mule was a sexual offence, but I mean, Muffin the Mule was quite a popular cartoon character.
YouTube just flagged us on that.
Who was the fox? Oh, the lovely fox. And
Oh, Basil Brush.
Oh, Basil Brush. Yeah.
Yes. Boom, boom. Yes.
It's a bit sad what happened to his owner.
Yes.
We won't go down that route.
I just want to
yeah, it's super
suggest
fun.
seriously, imagine if we started the show and you didn't see me and all you saw was a hand held out, puppet hand. Wouldn't that be funny? All of us were just puppets. Wow, that was hard to get back up. No, I'm kidding.
I think it would be great.
You did pretty well there, though, Jacalyn. I would never get up. My knees go.
Oh, so
Very
much
nice.
fun.
Nice to have a version of puppets.
Yes.
So on a different topic, in Britain or anywhere in the UK, are they already starting to sell coronation cups and banners and so forth?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're doing all the stuff, and a lot of different medals and medallions and so on being put on show, which are actually quite tasteful looking, rather than the usual tat that very often seems to rear its head on these occasions. But I think there is a selection committee who puts their stamp of approval on certain items and reject others as well. So, I think they're doing a good job this time, that, there is some very, very smart looking stuff out there at a price. may I add, but then that's always the way of it. And of course, these things eventually they appreciate in value, so they become very collectible, and there we are.
So these are things that are not mass produced then?
There's a lot of limited editions, but then there will be a lot of mass produced, but you can still mass produce reasonable quality. And so maybe we should do the show where we all, instead of appearing as we are, we should all just have the glove puppet.
I know, that's what I'm
And
thinking.
we
I
can
would
hold
love
the show
that.
chatting away each with a glove
It
puppet.
would be so much fun. I wouldn't be able to do anything on the board, but that's okay. Does anyone have a hand puppet?
I haven't.
I don't either.
DIANN, cut the legs off that one, take the stuffing out, and just keep your hand in. Yes.
So if you were a puppet, what would represent you? What character?
Oh,
I'm trying to think whose puppet I am anyway.
today I'm going to be an animal. Today I'm going to be a cat.
What kind of cat?
I'm going to be a jaguar. That's what I'm going to be today.
Ooh, pretty.
Ooh.
Special kind of cat.
Yeah.
And that's the one with the leg at each corner rather than a wheel at each corner. Yeah.
I had a jag. And again, not a paid spokesperson, but I had a lot of problems with the brakes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the horn's very good.
Yeah, the horn is good. The horn is good. Helena, what would be it's just sailing through life in that car? Helena, what would be the name of your Jaguar?
The name of my jaguar. Well, I could be Loopy the lion, but I think I could be.
That's safe for something else.
Yeah, that's safe for something else. But I'm going to be, I don't know, Jaunty the jag.
Jaunty jag. It's got a ring to it.
Yeah, Jaunty. I like it.
Yeah.
Putting together another book as we speak.
I've been speaking a lot with my mum about it, Dr. Jacalyn, and she's really got into it. You know, she's now thinking she's going to write books too.
Oh, good.
So she's named lots of animals, and it's been quite fun. Yeah. So
Helena has just completed the power of listening, and she's become an elevated listener, which I've not yet posted yet on social. But congratulations and welcome to our team.
Oh, thank you very much. I've not posted my review as yet, although I have written it. So I will do that. Yeah.
There's only one person here, one male figure who has not completed the course yet.
Oh, naughty.
Outnumbered again.
Well, we'll quickly change the subjects then. So before we find out what DIANN and Simon want to be as animal characters, any other good news that you have? Or news in general, Helena?
Yeah, I do. There's been a lot of interest in the ceremonial chair. Now, it is the throne that King Charles is going to be sitting on. It's the oldest piece of furniture that really is still used, has a purpose, should I say. So it's over 700 years old. And it has a story. I mean, not only is it absolutely stunning, but it does have a checkered story, really, in a way. And it was basically so King Edward, that's it, King Edward I, brought it over from Scotland. This was in 1296. No, he didn't bring the chair. Sorry, I'm getting confused a bit. It's the Stone of Scone. Now, I don't know whether anyone knows about the Stone of Scone, but it is a stone that lots of kings and queens previous to King Edward used to sit on. It started in Ireland, and there's this funny story. It's that anybody royal sitting on it, if it groaned, it meant they were royal. If it didn't groan, then they were fraudsters and something awful happened to them. Anyway, that was in Ireland. Then because this stone had sort of special powers as thought, then it was in Scotland, and lots of Scottish kings sat on it. Then King Edward brought it over. Now he brought it over, and it was placed within the throne, within the chair, and it was put in very, very carefully. and this whole throne, which is 6'9", made of solid oak, a huge amount of work on it, gold leaf, gilding, etc. And actually even some naughty children, I think, and tourists in the 18th century sort of scribbled on it. So it's been done up, I think in 2013 it was done up to make it okay, it was restored. And this year, Krista Blessley, which I find is quite an interesting name, Krista Blessley, quite religious, isn't it? So it goes very well, has been restoring the chair with soft cloths, etc., and gilding the gold leaf back together. But what's so important about it as well is that the art it's decorated. It's punch work, which is a certain artistic thing. We don't really have very much artwork left because it's so old, so that's why it's so important. And it's tiny dots. It's made of tiny dots, and which create things like birds and saints and kings and foliage and various things like that. So it really is very, very special. I wish we had a picture, but what's so important is obviously King Charles is going to be anointed and crowned, so the actual act is going to happen on that chair. And it's fabulous because it's history, and it's just so lovely to think it goes back so far, and to pass it on to future generations and to teach this to youngsters as well. It means so much, and it's lovely. I know already I've done some interviews with NBC, and people are really interested in the history, which is so refreshing after lots of the Harry and Meghan sagas going on. Anyway, so it's a fabulous thing, and I can't wait to see it in its full glory. It used to have lots of brightly coloured glass on it as well and be quite stunning, but no longer. And the stone of Scone is a big part of the chair, which is actually in the seat area. I know that John Major in 1996 actually handed it back to Scotland, but it was on the understanding that it would be brought back for any coronation. So obviously it's coming over shortly. So all very exciting, and it's really lovely to share it. And again, I wish we had a lovely picture of it. 6'9" it is, and I can just see Charles, and obviously I think people are going to be able to see him. We've discussed this, didn't we? Being anointed. So watch this space. Let's see.
Fantastic. I'm still trying to get over the chair groaning. I mean, when I sit in my kitchen chair, it's like, I better cut back. But
maybe that was
just thinking this chair I'm sitting on, I must be royal.
Yeah, I hate to think what happened to the people that it didn't groan to. Probably off with your head or something, I'm sure.
Right, but going further with the stone, or the stone of destiny, it's
that's its other name, yeah.
It's a big sort of rectangular piece of granite, extremely heavy, and it was in Scotland for just over 600 years, and then Edward stole it and took it down to Westminster, and it's been used for for kings and queens since then in Coronation Westminster, and I think it was in the 1950s. There was an organisation called the Scottish Patriots, broke into Westminster and stole it and took it back to Scotland. And there's also thoughts now that there are 2 or 3 replicas of this stone in existence, and the one which the Queen was crowned on under the chair. There's doubt whether that was the original stone or not, but the stone at present that everybody regards as being the real one, I think, is sitting at Scone Palace, which is just outside of Perth, and that's been the homes to the Earls of Mansfield for a number of generations. Beautiful place. They have the Scottish Game Fair every year there. A tremendous event. Love going to it as well. I sat on the stone. It didn't groan, so that obviously didn't cut it for me. But unless it was somebody underneath the stone at the time, and my added girth probably just tipped the balance, and they had to groan a bit. But yes, so the Scottish Patriots stole the chair. or borrowed it back, I think is the polite term for it, and took it back to Scotland. There was actually a film made about it as well. I can't recall the film, but it was the name of the film. But there was a film made about it, and the group that stole it was headed up by a woman called Wendy Wood, and Wendy Wood apparently hatched this plan in the tiny little village up in the West Highlands called Glenouig, where I used to live. And it was, I thought, yeah, okay, that says a lot for the locals here. We're a bunch of bloody thieves, you know, go down and borrow our stone back. But there we are. So the Stone of Destiny, yes, it was 600 years, you know, of crowning many, many Scottish kings. And then stolen, taken down, and used to this day for the coronations.
Fabulous.
Great history. Yeah, I love that.
I think as well. I mean, it was so special, this stone, that it was hidden, wasn't it, Simon? I think you know, during the war, and it's hidden in certain palaces and underneath certain things. And I know it was. I think the suffragettes, I think, believe it or not, because we've been speaking about Emmeline Pankhurst, but that they tried to blow it up. It didn't quite work, but it is slightly chipped. But I think that happened when it was stolen back, or not stolen back, by the people you mentioned, Simon.
Yeah, it's actually got a great big crack across it, and so that could have been of their doing. I'm not sure. But there's a couple of metal rings in it as well. And those metal rings, there is absolutely no way that would bear the weight if you tried lifting or got a crane to lift it up with those metal rings. It just wouldn't work. I think they were just put there for decoration or something for the king to hang on to while he was being crowned, or to tie him down to it if he didn't want to be crowned. So yes, it's quite a remarkable lump of rock. But to blow that thing up, you'd need one heck of a lot of explosive, because it is a pretty big lump of stone, and it's considerable weight as well.
When you think about the size of it, how would you describe it? Is it?
It's bigger than me. That's huge. No, it'll be probably about 3 feet across. You know, just under 3 feet across, and about 2 feet wide, and about a foot deep. So it's a big lump of rock.
You sit there and wonder how on earth, I mean, when you think about stealing something, okay, we need to be secretive. We need to be this. I mean, like, you need a crane to move this thing.
Right. I mean, these guys who went down to steal it, I mean, they were, you know, big burly Highlanders. You know, I mean, they'd probably tuck it under their arm and walk out the door. I believe apparently they did have problems with it, because they hadn't figured out the weight of that against going into the boot of the car, which they were doing.
Oh, yeah.
And so they had to steal a lorry to put it on, to take it back over the border, because the car broke, basically, under the weight of this thing.
What they could do is they could get a whole group of people, pretend that they're doing military training. They have to run with it over their head for so many miles.
I think it's in Edinburgh Castle, Simon.
There is one there, yes.
One of the three.
With the jewels. They reckon the original is the one that sits at Scone Palace. Hence the name, the Stone of Scone, and Scone Stone, and Stone of Destiny. All sorts of aliases. Of course, in Edinburgh Castle, we've got the Scottish Crown jewels as well, which are very impressive. But we've got
Do you have a book that for young kids that says all the different kings that were crowned under that stone?
Well, I mean, I remember it at school, you know, in history, which I thought was a great excuse for a place to go to sleep. That the history classes there, we had to read off parrot style the names of all the kings and queens, and the dates they were crowned, and the dates they died, and all the rest of it, and so on. And it was a considerably long list when you added the Scottish kings onto it. So I can't remember them. I mean, I can go back to Victorian times and to Georgian times, but you know, beyond that, then I sort of tend to falter a bit, shall we say, because you know, the Scottish and English history sort of intermingles, and there were Scottish kings when there were English kings, and you know, and big battles around them. You don't know who bumped off who, and so on. So it's a very muddled history that we have. We're a very muddled race. So in Scotland just now, skiing is the thing. We have got loads of snow here. Last night, the temperature outside the house here last night was -9 degrees, which must be about 17 degrees Fahrenheit or thereabouts. So it was a bit nippy this morning. I went out there and had to spend a lot of time getting the ice off the car. No snow at the house this morning, but just about half an hour further north from here, then we're getting into snow. A lot of Scottish roads have been closed because of snow, but the ski resorts are all absolutely booming just now. We've got, I think the nearest one to me will be Glencoe, which will be about an hour and a quarter away from here, and then we've got Annachmore, which is this range ski development, which is a big one in Fort William with all the gondolas and all the rest of it. Aviemore, they're open for business and doing well. Glenshee, they're all having a bumper time of it just now. So bring your skis, bring your huskies, and bring some brandy, or we've got plenty of whiskey, so that's fine.
Are you a skier, Simon?
Are we talking yogurt now, or these planks of wood you wear on each foot? Many years ago, I used to ski, yes, but not now.
Do you miss it?
But it's certainly a very popular sport here. That's for sure. But our skiing seasons tend to be quite short compared to the likes of the French Alps. But very often we have snow when they don't, and vice versa. But the snow here, it tends to be more sort of hard-packed, wetter type of snow. In the Alps, it's very powdery and so on. But because the temperatures here have been so cold with the Arctic blast, we've actually got quite a powdery snow just now. So that's pleasing everybody.
Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy and shivering.
Love that.
Do the ladies
Love
ski?
it.
Yeah.
Diane, you're a skier?
No. I take pictures. When we take our kids to ski, I go, Mama's taking pictures.
Oh.
How about you, Helena?
Yeah, I like taking pictures, but I also ski. I haven't been for a while, I have to say. I haven't been for a few years now, but I love it. I tend to go to a little place in Medicimo in the Alps. It's the Italian side. It's beautiful. But yeah, interested in Scotland as well. Very interesting.
Well, that's it. I remember years ago, the first big ski resort we had here was in Aviemore, and it suddenly became the place to be seen and to be. And we had all the A-listers would come and be seen, get photographed, and and drink lots of whiskey and have a really good time. But it was one of these developments. It was very 1960s architecture, which dated extremely quickly and looked absolutely terrible after a short time. And they've sort of pulled it down and redeveloped it now. And I'm not terribly impressed the way they've rebuilt it. But the ski slopes are certainly very, very good. And it's a popular place to be. And a very nice part of the world.
Sounds delightful.
Mm.
I have to say, I'm very impressed that we did not get into any food conversations today.
It's because there's a certain person that's away. That's
I know nobody to throw smoked salmon at.
Well, I would like to hear from Diane and Simon. If you were going to be an animal character, what would you be?
Simon, go for it.
I'm outnumbered again. I don't know. I think probably with my figure, probably a hippopotamus, but in reality, I'd be quite happy at being a golden retriever or a silly spaniel or something like that.
What would your name be?
Well, I don't know. Simon the doggy, it doesn't quite ring right somehow.
Simon the hippo?
Simon the hippo, thank you. I can see that's going to stick like mud now.
No. You said it, not me.
Oh, dear.
Diane, what about you?
I don't know. I was sitting there trying to think because I love kangaroos, but they're so quiet, and that's not me. So, but they're so graceful, and I just love if you've ever seen the kangaroos walking in their natural habitat, and they're so far at a distance, and then as they start walking and so gracefully, and they get bigger and bigger, and you're just like, I'm in awe of them. So maybe
catch you on the hop every time, don't they?
I have kissed a kangaroo a couple of times.
Wow. Do you want to tell us what that was like?
Yeah, I was in Kenya, and it was a special home that some English people had, and we were invited there, and they taught us how to do it. So you put the kangaroo's favorite type of food in your mouth like this, and then you go like that, and he comes up and he just kisses you and takes this little food with you. And I got in line like 3 times to get a kiss from a kangaroo.
Has he had his tests? I don't know.
I fell in love. So.
Oh, you should write a book about that one, Diane.
Definitely. Oh,
perfect.
And Dr. Jacalyn, we haven't heard yours yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of one. I don't know. I have to give it some thought. I do like big cats, I don't know, maybe a zebra for totally different subjects.
Yeah.
Zebra.
Yeah, zebra.
Right.
Yeah. And my name would be Z. Z-E. So original. Yeah.
Well, what about Jazzy?
Jazzy the zebra. I like that. Jazzy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll put Jazzy in the next book.
Yeah.
I think so.
Sounds
good.
Yeah, that's a cute
zebra.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it, can't you? Woo! I love that. So good.
I love that too. Well, believe it or not, we're at the end of our show. It's been so much fun. And by the way, I'm planning on surprising Anne. I'm bringing my computer so we can do some live broadcasting from.
Oh,
yeah.
You'll love that. You'll
Yeah.
love it. Oh,
Good.
absolutely love it.
That'll
Yeah.
be fun. So
Really
let's go
cool.
around with our last, our message for the day to inspire people. Diane, you look like you have something already. I'm going right to you.
I need to prepare ahead of time.
You never know what I'm going to ask.
You never know, that is for sure. But everybody listening and watching, thank you. And I hope you have a very blessed day and fill the world with a little bit of kindness.
Very nice. Thank you so much. And to the man who's been outnumbered.
I'm still outnumbered. Yes. Well, you only live once. But if you do it right, once is enough.
Another good one from you. Thank you. And Helena.
I want to say, so it's also British Science Week here in the UK, and Dr. Adeline Pocock, who's known for The Sky at Night, BBC One, has been honoured to receive a Barbie in her likeness. And it's something that she said, it's a statement she said, which resonates considering it's International Women's Day, which is, I hope my doll will remind girls that when you reach for the stars, anything's possible.
Oh, that's
Wonderful.
beautiful. Thank you. And let's see, I will say that I want to thank all the women in my life throughout the years, whether you were stabbing me in the back, which helped catapult me forward, or you were there by my side mentoring and networking and sharing love. I appreciate all of you, and happy International Women's Day to all the women and to all the men who support us.
That's right.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay. All right, we will be back next week, and our next show is coming up. It's I'm Spiritual, but figure out what the but is. Every week it's something new. All right, we'll be back soon. See you later. Bye, everyone.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.